There we go. Pull the chat out here. That should work. Now we should be live on YouTube and Twitch. All right, who's hopping in here with me? Make you build a new hunter exotic, please. You mean this one? Blood Reds, thanks for the 5 months. All right, we'll try. Bro was kicked out of the Warframe community for being carried and being pay to win. Couldn't be me. Yeah? Or people can play 2 different games. If you can wrap your brain around that. This guy's just mad that I'm better than him at Warframe. Someone said the Warframe community is a cult. I get it now. Nah, it's just it's very, very, very loud minority. Most of the Warframe community is super chill with me. We get along great. And the company that develops Warframe, Digital Extremes, actually really, really likes me. So much so to the point that they're using me in their advertising. They're sponsoring my streams to play their updates. They're giving me codes to do giveaways to give to my community. Literally yesterday they asked me for my address to send me a merch package. Jealous? Davey wishes he was getting merch packages. What's up, Rez? I don't understand why people think streamers are only allowed to play a single game forever. Whenever I'm like playing a different game, and someone's like, oh, what? So you quit this other game? You're done with this other game now? I always say, what'd you have for lunch yesterday? And they'll be like, I had Chick-fil-A. And I'm like, okay, what'd you have for lunch today? And they're like, I had McDonald's. And then I'm like, oh, so you're just like never eating at Chick-fil-A ever again for the rest of your life? Wow, I see. Okay. I guess you're just completely done with Chick-fil-A. And then hopefully the dots connect a little bit. Not always, but... Davey hopped in to try and talk some smack, but they left immediately after sending their message because they knew they couldn't handle the response. Can't handle the smoke? What's the matter? Is the new act good? In terms of like, there's not very much like quest content to do. I got done with all of the Act 1 questing content in like an hour. So that aspect is a little bit lackluster. But like new onslaught is a W in my opinion. Barrier. Couldn't handle the neutron style. I like that, dude. Davey couldn't handle the neutron style. Can't you brew potions? Yeah. What the? Why is that guy's text so big? Yeah, you can brew potions, but like, yeah. How'd you get the new exotic so fast? I will show you at some point today. Big health, big text? Apparently. Whee! Did you stockpile engrams? On accident, sort of. But yeah, Digital Extremes, the Warframe developers take really, really good care of me. And they seem to like me a lot. Will you be making a build video? Yes, I'll be doing a build video on all 3 of the brand new exotic armor pieces. And the funny thing is the one I'm currently using is bugged. So it's like technically not even as good as it's gonna be when it gets unbugged. And it's still really, really fucking good. Maybe not really fucking good, but it's like... Like it feels pretty solid and stellar already. What the heck? I don't know that dust field. I'm not sure how I feel about Wicked Implement here. I'm kind of like back and forth on whether or not I would like Wicked Implement here or Monte Carlo here. I just feel like Wicked Implement feels too slow. What do you guys think? Everyone in the chat either type WI or MC. You guys in the Wicked Implement gang or the Monte Carlo gang? For this build specifically, knee-jerk reaction. Because it's like... on paper, this one, this makes a shit ton of sense, because it's like, oh, I can make so many crystals with headstone. But in practice, it's not really... I don't know. Wicked Implement is too slow for Onslaught? Right. I'm kind of feeling that. Gotta chase this dude down. I'll use Wicked for 10 total waves. And then we'll give Monte Carlo a go for... Yeah, GMs, I could see it being a play where you're like further away from targets.
Let's bring those Elixni home.
How you feel about the new season? It's not bad so far. Exotic Stasis Sidearm? Cryesthesia? I don't know about that one. Verglass Curve could definitely be an angle. I don't know, I feel like no one likes using Verglass Curve, though, is the thing. I feel like people don't like using Verglass. Symmetry rework? Wait, Symmetry got a rework? Like, right there, being able to make that crystal is nice from Headstone. But it's, like, I have so many crystals up anyway. Agroceptor? I don't know. Legendary with Pugilist and Headstone? I don't think Pugilist is super necessary. The thing is, I don't even know, like... Because if you think about it, my Wicked Implement isn't really contributing to any melee regeneration whatsoever, unless I get a headshot kill for Headstone to generate a crystal, and then I kill the crystal to get the stasis shard out of it, and all that goodness. But it's like, that's not really, like, even happening that much. Which makes me feel like Monte Carlo is also unnecessary, because, like, clearly I'm perfectly fine on melee ability energy without something dedicated to regenerate it yet.
A most foul ritual commences, Guardians. Burn the perpetrators away with purified ether.
That's fun. Yeah, I don't really, like, Wicked Implement just doesn't seem necessary. Hello, bro. I'm not your tech support, my man. I have no idea. That's for google.com. I'm currently playing Destiny right now anyway. How's the new exotic GL? It's cool. It's very, like, it doesn't really have any, like, stasis synergy, though, which is, like, kind of the weird thing about it, because it's, like... It doesn't really have any... You just want to play? Google.com, my man. Google.com.
These enemies won't break you.
I ain't gonna give you advice on what you should do when it comes to your PC security, and then be responsible for if I give you the wrong advice. I don't know the answer. Getting that Scout and Catalyst was hell. Is it still hard to get Wicked Implement? Because deep dives aren't in the game anymore, right? Isn't Wicked Implement just, or is Whetstone still in the game? How do, like, do you just get Wicked Implement from the tower now?
You do us honor with your service. Elixir have long memories. We will remember this.
Okay, can we do the expert mode of that now? You buy from the kiosk now? Okay, so it's easy to get now. I don't know, I feel like Monte Carlo would feel better here. I mean, you could also go like liturgy. Got the Rhyme Stealer chill clip. Could be really, really good. There's a Monte Carlo angle. I'm gonna enhance this thing. Let me go with that. And then we go, yep. Like this could be very, very good. Monte Carlo is certainly an angle. If you went with the liturgy, what would you go down here? This is probably where your exotic slot would go. So you want like a... You want like a primary ammo... Are there any primary ammo energy weapons that have like melee synergy? How hard would Fighting Lion go? Dude, imagine like, dude. I'm just saying. Could do like a double GL build. That could be kind of crazy. You have to equip holster mods? Holster mods don't work on breach loaders though, do they? I don't think holster mods work on breach loaders. And then we can come down here. And then go rapid impact dealing damage with a grenade launcher temporarily increases the reload speed. And then you would go... You'd still go crystalline converter. And then the rest doesn't really matter, I suppose. Dude. Go like the triple GL build. I just think is such a funny idea. Go like harmonic siphon, kinetic siphon. Or no. Harmonic siphon, void siphon. Would be so funny. Now this could go crazy. I wish... Let's just try this. I'm just curious how this feels. Like, I think this could be, like, hilarious. Onslaught Salvation. Oh, wow. I'm unironically also trying triple GL. I think it could be sick. Because, like, your crystal generation loop comes, like, there's a recursive loop from the mask itself with the shurikens, and then you also got your dustfield grenade. You always have your dustfield grenade up. Because of shards. No, this could be funny, like... It's like the goofball build.
I'm reading multiple enemy contacts.
Neom. I don't know, this is either gonna be good or absolutely fucking terrible. I think there's a good chance it could be terrible. Wait a minute. Damaging targets with a stasis melee reload. Well, you're not really damaging targets with the stasis melee is the problem, I guess. Do I, like, have to direct impact with this thing? This might be trash. I think this is unfortunately trash. Or is it? Ah.
Guardian, the enemy has breached portals to
Grim Keepers.
find them and stop them.
What the hell happened to that guy? I don't know. I feel like... Is there a such thing as a build trying to do too much? I feel like this build's trying to do too much right now. I feel like it's trying to do too many things. Salvation's Grip. I mean, like the build itself has enough regeneration, like ability regeneration, that like you don't really need like we're not in dire need of like on-demand crystal creation. Like we have on-demand crystal creation with our grenade, and like our grenade is always up. Try Verglass Curve? No one's trying to use Verglass Curve. That weapon's so boring to use. It's like I'm wondering if we go like that's saucy. That right there. I like the headstone weapon a lot. Mac has just declared war on all 3 Verglass Curve mains. It's just not like...
Now's your chance. Get in
Verglass Curve is not like an exhilarating weapon to use, you know what I mean? Is Monte Carlo the best pick for the build? Yeah, I think it might be.
Excellent work. We're making strong.
How do you get exotic ciphers, by the way, guys?
Revenant scorn.
Other than the Zur quest. Zur quest, Season Pass, Rahul max rank. Is that it? Do you get it for ranking up the other vendors as well? First prestige from most vendors? Okay. Ah! Screamed. Shouldn't I be making a stasis crystal when I... Or is that Wicked Implement? Did he get Mask of Fealty? He did. Oh, dude, I am actually such a bot. I was staring at my buffs to see when Creeping Attrition popped up, forgetting that it appears in the lower left now. Honestly, Wicked Implement might be the move for this still. I don't know. Because the thing is, the reason I think Wicked Implement is so solid for this is because when you have Creeping Attrition active, when you destroy a Stasis Crystal, it creates a shard. Wait. Do you not have to have... Wait, do you create a shard even if you don't have Creeping on? Interesting.
Hold the line. These enemies won't break you.
Very interesting. Did you mean to end YouTube stream? Is the YouTube stream off? Fellas watching in the YouTube stream, you guys still hear me? You guys see me? We all good? Oh shit, it was the wrong stream. Good job. It's an 11 out of 10.
Rises upon itself through blade claimed triumph. Our many hands join in praise, so it will be remembered.
That's OP right there, Hail the Storm. Dude, I think we might... I think I have a pretty solid idea of where I want to go with this. Yo, see you, Status. Have a good one, man. Because it's like, you got the Wicked Implement angle. You've got the like, I'd love to go with the Alethanim angle. But the problem with Alethanim is it doesn't have any actual stasis synergies. I know it's a stasis weapon and it, like, looks very stasis-y, but, like, it doesn't do anything with any... that, like, synergizes with any stasis shards, or stasis crystals, or slowed enemies, or frozen enemies, or anything like that. It's just an ammo gen. So I'm not huge on Alethanim. I like the Wicked Implement angle. I like the Monte Carlo angle. You can go the Liturgy angle if you want to. Xuvier. We can maybe mess with the Salvation's Grip. What about Cryesthesia? Well, I just, like, what is Cryesthesia gonna do? that's going to be like super impactful. Just freezes stuff. It's kind of whatever. Aggers. Aggers could have something going. Well, I don't know. Final blows of this weapon generate a slowing burst. Yeah, no, there could be something there. Yeah, Verglass could be really crazy. It's just like, like I said, no one likes using Verglass. You'd probably, like, you'd want to experiment with Wicked, Monty, like a headstone option. And then we can experiment with, like, Verglass and Aggers, I suppose. If it makes you guys happy. No one has used it with a new exotic. It's okay. So here's why I don't like Verglass for this. It's so overkill. Because the thing is, you only really need one consistent method to generate stasis crystals to start up the chain, because the helmet makes crystals. So it's like once you have your first crystal, then you're allowed to justify throwing the Withering Blade at the crystal, and then your Withering Blade is going to make more crystals, and then you can throw your subsequent Withering Blades at those crystals. And so if you're running Touch of Winter, which you should be, plus Dustfield Grenade, and then you have like a bunch of mods to give Dustfield Grenade regeneration, and then you've got shards, then you're always going to have your grenade up 24/7, and that's like your, that's your primer, is like the word I'm going to use, if that makes sense. But we can goof around with is that a Warframe thing? Primer? Weapons are optional? Weapons are basically optional with this, yes. I'm gonna pull out the Aggers. That's all the more reason to shoot more hip shots than aim shots, though? What are you talking about? Harmonic Siphon, Double Diamond, Dynamo. Got that. Would hands-on be better because of the shurikens? I tested it out a little bit, and you can't really... So, like, okay, so how do I explain this? So, like, if this is you, and you throw a shuriken, right, at a guy, and then it kills him, you generate an orb of power, right? Because this is very clearly melee damage, right? But if this is you, and you have a stasis crystal, and you throw the shuriken at the stasis crystal, and then it blows up the stasis crystal, and then the stasis crystal sends out a bunch of shurikens from your exotic helmet. I don't know if these, and then like the crystals all hits. Guys, I don't know if the crystals that spawn off of this count as melee damage. And I tried to test it, and it either doesn't work, or it's insanely inconsistent and unreliable to the point where it's like, it's not worthwhile. You're significantly better off investing in ability loop regeneration mods so that you can just throw more shurikens and throw more grenades and things of that nature. What's up, Lucas? Can we play Warframe? Playing Destiny right now. I noticed you have some deck boxes in the back. Yeah, that's right. Subscribe. That's what I thought. And now I'm gonna play Pot of Greed so that everyone has to gift 2 subs. That's what my haters look like, by the way. You can use it if you want to, Peliquin. I'm gonna test it for the sake of showing footage of it, but I already know how it's gonna go. Because I've played this game enough. And GSXR, thanks for the brand new Prime sub. Welcome in, appreciate you very much. Gained a lot of haters from Warframe. I got haters from everywhere. The more you grow, the more haters you get. Because people just people get jealous, and when people get jealous, people hate. Oh yeah, I should probably talk about how to get the exotic, shouldn't I? I can show you guys how I got all the exotics. And then we can hit the record button. How are you? Good. When are you gonna stream on Warframe? Guys, I need y'all to understand that, like, I love creating Warframe content, but I also love creating Destiny content. And I love creating Destiny content, but I also love creating Warframe content. And something that will suck the love and fun out of creating both of those pieces of content so quickly to the point where I'm just not going to want to do it anymore is if every time I create Destiny content, all the people who watch my Warframe content go, oh, this sucks, create Warframe content instead, dude. And if every time I create a piece of Warframe content, all the people who watch my Destiny content say, oh, this sucks, please create Destiny content. If you have zero interest in Destiny content in any capacity, that's fine. But if you think that spamming like comment sections in my videos and stuff like that and things of that nature for me to play the other game, like all that does is make me want to not.
Thank you. Ready?
I love whatever content you create. The vibes are why I'm here. That's why I appreciate you, bro. That's why I appreciate you.
Good to have you back.
Zavala does not give a cipher. So it might just be Rahul. Why are there so many Nighthawks in there? Oh, you're about to see.
Why can't those rookies in the Crucible be more like you?
Fair Judgment. Stasis auto rifle with rhyme steel or headstone. What are these called? Pinnacle weapons? No, they're not pinnacle weapons anymore. They used to be called pinnacle weapons. Ritual weapons? Ritual weapons! Yeah, that's what they're called. How's your day? It's good. Mm-mm.
Looks like there was a rat living in there.
Okay. Shall we begin? Would this be a Will It Build episode, technically? I don't know if this would be a Will It Build episode or not. Maybe it would be a Will It Build episode? Oh. I don't know. Maybe? I reset them, Buckeye, but today is a double Schmacks day. So that anyone who is watching today's stream will get a lot more Schmacks and have a significantly higher chance of winning raffles for when we do dungeon carries for the contest mode dungeon. But I always reset them every season so that way people can't like stockpile millions and then auto win every raffle, even if they haven't been in the stream for like years. What are Schmacks? My Twitch channel stream currency.
All data has a lineage, no matter how ancient or corrupted. You can always trace it back.
Let me come on over here.
I think I have something you will like.
Ba-ba-bum. Da-da-da.
I don't have
Speak
training
to
for
me,
that.
not of the dark.
Look at my tusks. The armor 3.0 stuff? The what? Oh man. What's up, Stillwell? Think it's worth it to get final shape? I was told it was on sale for like 30 bucks right now. Is that true?
New worlds mean new secrets.
Maybe that was a lie. I don't know.
I can fix this.
On Xbox it is. Okay. Anyway. Shall we, do it up? Start showing this bad boy off? I'm gonna hit the record button. We'll call it. I don't know if it's technically gonna be a Will Build video. I don't know. We're just gonna do it anyway, right?
These files are
So
around in the
we'll say,
city itself.
welcome to another episode of Will It Build, where today we are going to build. And socks. What the heck? I was mid-intro. Mini jobs. I was mid-intro. You gonna cut me off mid-intro?
Guardian, what puzzles do you bear?
Come on. They subbed mid-intro. Not cool. Nah, it's fine. It's cool. My first live Will It Build. First try. Reroll the tapes. Yeah. Run it back. Run it back. Welcome to the first Will It Build episode of the Revenant episode in Destiny 2, where today we are going to build craft around the brand new Hunter Exotic helmet, the Mask of Fealty. Now, the number one question I've been getting in my live streams, where I record all these live, twitch.tv/Mactics, is how have I acquired this already? And I'm going to give you guys the method to not only get this, but to get pretty much every brand new exotic that ever comes for the foreseeable future before they change this system. So the way you'll get this brand new exotic is through Rahul, through the focusing system specifically. So if you go to focused decoding and you come over here to the final page, you'll be able to pick it up right here, assuming that you have at least one exotic engram in your inventory and one exotic cipher. Additionally, the only way that you'll be able to get it through this method is if you have already ranked up or done like the reset rank through Rahul. So you got to get this all the way to rank 16 and then you'll have to reset it. Nice thing here is when you reset it, you get that very exotic cipher to be able to focus the weapon. But how do you get this ranked up anyway in the first place? Well, the best way to do it is by turning in prime engrams, which gives you 100 reputation apiece, or by focusing exotic engrams, which if you focus them through this area right here, they will cost the exotic engram itself 30,000 glimmer and 10 enhancement prisms a pop, and they'll give you 250 rep apiece. Or if you have the resources, the number one way to do it. Pause for the tier 3 sub. Bobby Wiz, thank you so much for the tier 3. The number one way to do it is if you have the materials and resources to be able to do so. If you focus it through this third page right here, you'll only be able to focus exotics that you have already obtained. You won't be able to get the Mask of Fealty, but you can do anything else. 60,000 Glimmer a pop, 2 Ascendant Shards, and 1 Exotic Engram. You'll get 500 reputation through Rahul per focus that you do on this third page. So you'll want to get it all the way to max rank, then you can reset the rank by picking up the exotic cipher, and then you'll be able to pop over into here and spend 1 cipher and 1 exotic engram to be able to get a brand new exotic. You'll be able to get the mask, and you'll be able to get the other 2 exotics for Warlock and Titan as well. Now, in terms of the build itself, I am very, very surprised by this mask. When I initially saw it, I wasn't thinking it was going to be anything super special or super crazy, but I actually really, really like it a lot once I've had some time to like get a little bit of gameplay in with it, and it's really, really good, to be honest. And that's despite the fact that it's bugged at the current moment. So if we go to the Bungie help page, they actually tweeted that the Hunter Exotic Mask of Fealty is not consistently producing the spread of well, first of all, I
can fix this.
Is this intro too long-winded? This intro feels too long-winded. One sec. What, honey?
Gotta be a better way.
Sorry, I had to talk to my wife. Better to have all the info? I could have done it better, though. I could have done it better, could have done it faster. Is the problem. Aiming for an end of October hotfix. Yikes. I want to stop this recording, but I'm worried it'll crash my stream.
Barter is warranted.
Oh, I could use that engram as an example for
The best cryptarchs
getting the
dig
rep.
and dig, and one
Perhaps.
day the garden blooms.
What's the best way to get exotic engrams? Ooh, I should mention that as well. That is a good call out. Bobby, thank you so much for the tier 3 for 3 months in advance as well, dude. And welcome back to the tier 3 club. We appreciate you very much over here. Okay, should we officially start the episode?
I can definitely fix this.
Solo law sectors? Yeah, so you can spam solo law sectors to get exotic engrams. Or I'm gonna have another method that could be better. Unless they change it again. You can spam solo law sectors to get exotic engrams, right? What's up, Strife? What's up, Michael? All right, 7 minutes is when we're starting this video. Okay, so, sorry, I was talking to myself because that's the recording timer right now. Okay, come on, load in character. No, we're not gonna load in. Too much stuff in the tower. Okay, we'll just show it off like this. What's up, Daniel? Let's get to it.
What an interesting little old file. Hardly any encryption at all. I'll have to investigate later.
Ritual activities, don't they give exotic engrams? I'm not exactly sure, to be honest. Either way, I have a good method. I have a really good method. So it's okay. Wow, this helmet looks good. It's pretty cool, yeah? So, let's get to it. Welcome to the first Will It Build episode. Oh my god. Wait. I can't say welcome to the first episode of Will It Build for the episode Revenant, because then I'm saying episode twice, and that doesn't make for good intro. That doesn't make for good eats. So I guess we'll go just use Revenant. That's a good call. Oh, I like that. We can go with that. Welcome to the first installment of Will It Build for the episode... No, not the episode. Welcome to the first Will It Build... Yeah. Welcome to the first... Ah! Okay, recording videos live is the worst. I hate it. I hate doing it. But I have to do it, because we gotta do these live, because you guys like it. So... Welcome to the first installment of Will It Build for episode Revenant in Destiny 2. Today we are build crafting around the brand new Hunter Exotic helmet, the Mask of Fealty, which I gotta say I wasn't too psyched about at first when I saw the exotic description and I saw the gameplay, but after playing with it, it's pretty spectacular, and I've got a lot of different weapon setups and a really good build setup that I think you guys are really gonna love. But first things first, you probably want to know... That's a... Nope, my... What? That's interesting. You probably want to know, how do you get it in the first place? How do I have it already? What's the best way to unlock it? And I've got a really good strategy for unlocking it. So, the way you'll get it is you'll come over here to the tower and talk to Master Rahul, and you'll notice that if you come to the focused decoding section and you come to the 4th page, you'll be able to buy it straight up for an exotic engram and an exotic cipher, assuming that you have already ranked up and done the reset rank for Rahul at least once this episode. Now, the best way to reset the rank for Rahul is simply by turning engrams in. I'm pretty sure that's the only way. In fact, you'll get 100 reputation every time you turn in a prime engram, and I believe you'll get 75 reputation every time you turn in an exotic engram. However, if you focus decode an exotic engram right here on the second page of advanced decryption, you'll actually get 250 reputation per exotic engram. Or if you want to maximize your rep gains with exotic engrams, if you come to the third page, precision decryption, and you turn in an exotic engram in conjunction with 2 ascendant shards and 60,000 glimmer, you'll get 500 reputation, and you'll get it ranked up super, super quickly. Now, if you need exotic engrams to be able to decode to fuel this, you can get it just like that. Way number 1 is to spam the daily legend lost sector to get exotic engrams. Or way number 2, if you played last season in Season Echoes and you left some things to claim in your season pass, you didn't claim everything, you can come to Bungie.net, go to Destiny 2, log into your account, and then click on the little profile picture up here on the top, and then click on Season Pass Progress. And once it loads, you'll actually, oh boy, it's really in the middle of my Will It Build video? Fine. Once it loads, you'll notice up in the top, you'll have previous season, and you'll be able to pull all of the materials and exotic engrams and exotic ciphers that you earned from last season that you didn't actually redeem. So you can claim your exotic engrams, you can claim exotic shards, anything you had left over so that you can fuel all this decryption so that you can eventually get that rank up, or hopefully get it, you know, just like that, like I did, and all in one go. And then you'll be able to do the reset ranks. You'll claim all this. You'll claim the exotic cipher. That'll reset your rank. And then you'll be able to come over here, come to page 4, and then buy the Mask of Fealty or the Warlock Exotic or the Titan Exotic. Now, as far as the build itself, what does this mask even do in the first place? Withering Blade hits and bounces create a small stasis crystal and refund a portion of melee energy. Using Withering Blade to shatter crystals or frozen targets releases a spread of Withering Blades. I do want to note that the frozen targets portion right here is bugged at the current moment and it's not consistently working. So in the gameplay, you'll notice I'm kind of more so using this build to throw crystals at, or sorry, throw Withering Blades at crystals because the frozen targets aspect is bugged. Even though it's bugged at the current moment, Bungie said that they're looking to fix it in about 3 weeks. This exotic is still ridiculously good and is very, very destructive and doing really, really solid. So it's just going to get even better once they bug fix this, but it's still more than usable and more than solid despite that bug being in place. Now, we are pairing this mask up with the Stasis subclass. We're not going with Prismatic because, in my opinion, it just has much better synergies when we link it with the Stasis subclass. Looking at our stats, we really want to get as high mobility as possible while maintaining max resilience. We then also want to get as high of discipline as possible. As far as our subclass goes, Silence and Squall, obviously our only option here. Going Gambler's Dodge for the class ability, obviously, so we can dodge next to things and get a melee charge back to fuel our Withering Blades. And then we're going Duskfield Grenade. You might think that you want to go Glacier Grenade because more crystals equals better, but we're going Duskfield Grenade because we're also rocking and rolling with Touch of Winter, where we actually get a stasis crystal inside of our Duskfield Grenade whenever we throw it. And this is what I like to call the primer of the build, if that makes sense. Because if you recall, when I read the description of Mask of Fealty, Withering Blade hits and bounces create a small stasis crystal, meaning that the idea is that you're basically going to throw your Touch of Winter Duskfield Grenade, it's going to spawn the stasis crystal, then you're going to throw a shuriken at that stasis crystal, it's going to blow it up, do a bunch of damage, and send a bunch of other shurikens flying out, but then it's also going to make more stasis crystals because those shurikens are going to generate small stasis crystals, so it loops and loops and loops. So you only really need one small crystal. You don't need this whole dust field, or you don't need the whole glacier grenade wall with tons of stasis crystals. And dust field grenades is just generally nicer in endgame content. It's nicer when it comes to like locking down areas. It's just a really, really solid grenade. We're also going with Grim Harvest, where defeating slowed or frozen targets creates stasis shards, and those stasis shards are all obviously going to give us melee energy to fuel our Withering Blade spam. Additionally, while Grim Harvest is equipped, anytime we pick up a stasis shard, it's going to give us stacks of frost armor, so we're going to get some survivability in the form of damage resistance as well. As far as our fragments go, we have fissures, obviously, so that anytime we destroy a stasis crystal or a frozen target, increase size burst and increase damage. We're going with refraction, so that when we defeat slowed or frozen targets, which is basically going to be everything, it's going to give us class ability energy, so we can spam Gambler's Dodge more, get more Withering Blades, and spam more Withering Blades. We've then got Whisper of Shards, so that anytime we shatter a stasis crystal, we're going to get a significantly increased grenade recharge rate so that we can throw more Dustfield grenades. Like I said, that's our primer. It's going to have a crystal in it, so it's just going to be easy to continue that loop of spamming the Withering Blades at that additional crystal. And Dustfield just in and of itself is very, very good. We then have Whisper of Conduction, so that all of the nearby stasis shards that we create are just going to automatically track to us when we get nearby. Also gives us 10 resilience and 10 intellect bump, which is really, really nice. And then we have the Whisper of Chains. We're defeating targets while we have Frost Armor, which again, we'll get it very easily from Grim Harvest, because anytime we pick up a stasis shard, it's going to give us Frost Armor. Defeating targets while we have Frost Armor has a chance to create a stasis shard, so these two kind of work hand in hand, back and forth. Now, as far as armor mods go, we're really, really focusing on ability regeneration, and making sure that we can spam our dodge as much as possible for Withering Blades, our Withering Blades as much as possible, obviously, because they synergize with the mask really well, and spamming our Dustfield Grenade as much as possible as that initial starter, and because the grenade itself is really, really good. Up on the mask, we're going with a Siphon mod of the element of whatever our current primary weapon is. This is going to change a little bit as I show you some of the different weapon options for this build. And then I'm just going with Double Dynamo. You do have a little bit of freedom when it comes here. I'm just going Double Dynamo so I can spam more Silence and Squalls. You might think that you want to go with Hands-On, where you gain bonus super energy on melee kills, but I found that either if you throw a shuriken at a stasis crystal, and then it blows up the stasis crystal, and then more Withering Blades come out of it, that either doesn't count as melee damage, or it's very inconsistent when it comes to proccing like the final blows and proccing and actually killing enemies and registering as melee damage or something of that nature. I tested it in a Law Sector for like 20 minutes, and I was barely creating orbs. I was testing it specifically with heavy-handed. Just didn't really seem like it was working, so that's why I like the Dynamo angle instead. On the arms, we're focusing exclusively on ability regeneration, so we got an impact induction for a grenade cooldown whenever we land a Withering Blade. We've got momentum transfer, so that anytime we do grenade damage, we get melee energy back, which Dustfield does do damage. Very, very little, but it does like 1 damage or 2 damage, which is enough to proc momentum transfer. And then bolstering detonation, so that our same Dustfield is going to regenerate our class ability, so we can spam our class ability a bit more to get that get those Withering Blades. Resistances of your choice on the chest, sweet and simple. I'm going with an elemental charge, so we get armor charge stacks from picking up those stasis shards, and stacks on stacks, so we double up on stacks, so we get a ton of armor charge whenever we pick up stasis shards. And then on the class item, those armor charge stacks are fueled into utility kickstart, so we can dodge as much as humanly possible. We got a Reaper, so we got orb generation whenever we get a weapon final blow after we dodge. And then Bomber, just for a little bit extra grenade energy. So I've got a ton of different weapon options when it comes to this build. A lot of different things can work. And frankly, this build can work completely fine on its own, even if you don't have specific weapon pairings. But I'm going to show you some weapon pairings that I have found to be really, really good, and I'll let you guys decide what you want to use. So we're going to go ahead and launch into the brand new Onslaught map. So if we go Last City and we come over here, we have 3 brand new Onslaught maps. We're going to launch into one of them and answer that question. Will it build? That was a good intro, in my opinion. I thought that was really good. It felt good. That felt fluid. Felt solid. A little long, maybe, but nothing wrong with that. More is more, right? Maybe. Felt fluid, felt solid. Yeah, I guess those are a bit contradictory, aren't they? Not to butter the bread, but it was banging. I'm gonna start out with a hand cannon, actually.
I'm reading multiple enemy contacts. Guardians, light them up.
Should I do the story? It takes literally an hour, Sherry. So if you want to, sure, I guess. It takes literally an hour. Okay, so as you can see here, whenever I have a stasis crystal, I throw a shuriken at it. It blows up and it creates an extra 3 crystals. So that's why I was talking about, we basically always have our grenade up because like I said, every single time we blow up a crystal, we get that significantly increased grenade energy from our fragment. So the idea is we throw our grenade, Touch of Winter gives us the initial crystal, throw a shuriken at the crystal, that does a blast of stasis damage and throws out all the additional shurikens thanks to our mask, and then we can blow up those crystals to get significantly increased grenade regeneration, and then we can throw another grenade out there and do it again. Now, as you can see, I'm out of melee energy. That's where Gambler's Dodge comes in. That's where some of our other buffs where we're going to be getting a lot of stasis shards comes in. Anytime we defeat a slowed or frozen enemy, they're going to generate shards. We're going to have a ton of melee energy going, as you'll see as we get going. At the current moment, in terms of weaponry, I'm using a legendary weapon with headstone, which I think is going to be weapon option number 1. This is definitely the most versatile option because it keeps your exotic slot open. So I think this is going to be nice because it gives you another way to set up your initial crystal, aka your primer, if that makes sense, other than your Dustfield Grenade. So obviously I could do that most of the time, but in any situation where I don't already have a crystal or I don't already have Dustfield Grenade up, it's nice to have the headstone weapon because you can just get a quick headshot kill. Well, let me find an enemy that I can actually get a headshot kill on. So we got some guys spawning on here. Just find an enemy real quick, get a headshot kill, makes the crystal, throw the shuriken at the crystal, easy as that. So this is kind of weapon option number 1, and like I said, I like this one a lot because it's the only weapon option. This is specifically the new seasonal hand cannon, it's called like Exuvier or something like that. But obviously you can do any legendary weapon that has headstone. And then that allows you to open up your exotic armor your exotic weapon slot for absolutely whatever you want. Doesn't really matter. So, for example, if I want to like rock and roll with like Microcosm, to absolutely blast down like tankier targets or things of that nature, gives me the freedom to do that. Nice and easy. Can you guys do me a favor? Can you guys not make sure you're not running anything that's going to generate stasis crystals? Because if you're running stuff that's generating stasis crystals, then it makes the build look a lot better than it actually is, because then it looks like I'm generating more stasis crystals than I actually am, and so just like something mundane. Unstoppable champion. Obviously, we freeze unstoppable champions. And so here's what I meant with that like recursive loop, where throw the Dustfield Grenade, throw the shuriken at it, shuriken blows up, additional shurikens, those create extra stasis crystals, can throw those shurikens at those stasis crystals. Just get a little crazy here. Oh, that one despawned right as I threw. So we're gonna create our headstone, and yeah, this thing absolutely puts in work. Throw that down right there, chuck that, little dodge, throw it right there. And a big part of this build right here as well is that Whisper of Refraction, I believe it was called, was one of our fragments. Consistently getting class ability energy back from defeating all of these slowed targets or frozen targets is keeping our Gambler's Dodge up very, very frequently, so we can always be using it next to an enemy to make sure that we're getting those Withering Blades back consistently. That's another reason the Dustfield feels so nice, is because the Dustfield is going to freeze and slow every single thing around it, so you're just going to get a ludicrous amount of class ability energy back all the time, thanks to the fact that you're always going to be throwing your grenade because you have it up so frequently, thanks to your other fragments. There's just really solid synergies right there. This build, like, it just kind of like, it works together really well in a lot of areas. While we're in this little cooldown period, I want to take the time to talk about the artifact as well. None of these are necessary in any capacity, but they do help out a little bit. Specifically, I really, really like things like, if you're using a stasis weapon, one with Frost, where while Frost Armor is active, stasis weapons gain increased reload speed. Just feels a little nice. You've also got Wind Chill. This one's not really... we're not even going to talk about this because this one's not even really that good. What I do like a lot, though, Crystalline Converter, as you gather stasis shards, you get stacks of Crystalline Converter, and your next powered stasis melee hit, aka your Shuriken, is going to create stasis crystals, so kind of litters the field with some bonus crystals. One of the strongest ones, in my opinion, Hail the Storm, shattering stasis crystals, releases shards of ice that damage and slow targets, is going to be super, super good. And then I don't have this final column unlocked, but I would probably go with Brain Freeze, where frozen combatants become surrounded by chilling fog, which slows combatants that aren't slowed already. And then probably Served Cold, where picking up a stasis shard grants us class ability energy that's going to help out with our refraction to make sure our gamblers dodges up as frequently as possible, even more so. To give us more class ability energy, and thus more Withering Blades as we use it next to enemies. How do you get the new exotics? I already talked about it. So you might have to wait for the new video. Complete the wave within the time limit. So we're gonna throw a dust field down there, throw our shuriken into the dust field. Shuriken makes extra shurikens. They don't always seem to land on the enemies. They seem to be a little bit finicky sometimes, but like for the most part, the AoE is pretty solid, and it's gonna kill most of whatever you hit. Got an airstrike going right there as well. But you just want to make sure you're always breaking the stasis crystals. Getting your dust field grenade back. Your dust field is a very, very key part of this. Killing all of the slowed enemies. If you keep your eye on my class ability, you'll just notice how quickly my class ability comes back. That's thanks to refraction. That guy's gonna get frozen, pull out the microcosm, absolutely beam him. It's really, really easy to maintain your ability loops with this. You don't really have to execute anything too perfectly. Sometimes builds require you to be like really on the money when it comes to making sure you land all your abilities perfectly, making sure your ability rotations are perfect. This one just kind of, I mean, you get to mindlessly spam things for the most part. As long as you're killing stasis crystals, you're pretty much good to go. Because as long as you're killing stasis crystals, that means that you're always proccing the stasis fragment that's going to regenerate all that grenade energy, which means you always have your dust field grenade up, and if you always have your dust field grenade up, you always have plentiful ways. You always have a way to create an initial stasis crystal. You're always slowing everything. That's going to give you class ability energy. So it's really not half bad when it comes to ease of use. It's actually probably, when it comes to builds, it's probably on the side of like easier to use compared to most other builds, just because really don't have to be perfect with it at all. I haven't really been using my super at all. I kind of want to use my super and take note of how quickly I get it back. Are you gonna do Warlock and Titan builds? Yeah, absolutely.
Good work, Guardians. Let's bring those Elixni home.
No idea, Troll King. Yep, this build looks good. Yeah, it's pretty fucking good. It's pretty freaking good. Okay, so now I think we're going to take the time. We're going to switch up to our first exotic weapon option here. And again, your energy and heavy, they really, it's really world's your oyster. You can use whatever you want. That's how this build is so good, just with the ability and mod synergies at base, that you can really use whatever you want in these two slots. But the first exotic weapon we're going to try out is Wicked Implement, which is similar to the legendary option in the sense that it has headstone, but Wicked Implement's going to bring some additional perks to the party, right? Specifically, creeping attrition. When we rapidly land precision hits, we're going to gain the creeping attrition buff so that we slow enemy targets. That's going to fuel our refraction a little bit more and our Grim Harvest a little bit more. We're going to get more shards. And then we've also got Tithing Harvest, where while creeping attrition is active, destroying stasis crystals or landing precision final blows creates a stasis shard. Now, this is really, really nice because I don't know if it's bugged or if the perk description is just inaccurate, but you actually don't have to have creeping attrition to generate a stasis shard from destroying the crystal. As you can see right there, I definitely don't have creeping attrition in my lower left above the weapon. And anytime I destroy a stasis crystal, it's going to make a shard for me. And that's any shard. So you really are you're going to create a ludicrous amount of stasis shards. And since they're created from the weapon destroying the stasis crystal, they're just automatically going to float towards you, overflow your magazine. It's just super easy to get them. So the one area where this weapon's going to maybe struggle a little bit is in like fast-paced content where you're having a lot of enemies run at you, such as something like Onslaught, where we're in right now. But if you look to content like Grandmasters and things of that nature, I think this weapon is going to be absolutely peak with this build in Grandmasters because it's a scout rifle, so you get to be long range. It can stun 2 types of champions intrinsically because of the fact that it can slow enemies, which means it can eventually freeze them. So it's going to be able to intrinsically stun overload champions without any seasonal mods, and it's going to be able to intrinsically stun unstoppable champions without any seasonal mods. Like, you just... Every single crystal you blow up, whether you have creeping attrition or not, again, don't know if that's a bug or not, or if that's just... if the text is oddly worded. Every single crystal you blow up, stasis shard will automatically come to your position, which means you just have significantly more shards available to you at all times. As you can see here, just shooting. And obviously more shards equals more melee energy. More melee energy equals more withering blades. Which is kind of what the core thing is of this build. Just always shooting, always getting shards. Hit a little dodge. Just a really, really solid synergy for this build. Wicked Implement, of course, yes, as you guys are saying in the live stream, is also just very solid this season because of its synergies with the seasonal artifact mods as well, without a doubt. So we're going to throw that in there. Throw our Silence and Squall. Do a little dodge. Throw that. That'll make a crystal. For sure. I think I missed that one, actually, unfortunately. But that's okay. Because all we have to do is throw another one. Whoops. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, ammo dump on this guy. He's kind of standing still, he's just chilling. I think he might be bugged. Do a little dodge. Throw that. That's going to make crystals. Dust field grenade. Boss ran out of it, but I can still shoot the crystal inside of it to get the shard.
Success.
By the way, it can also stun barrier champions from anti-barrier scout artifact. Wait, is there anti-barrier scout on the artifact this season?
Our many hands
Oh my god.
in
So you can use Wicked Implement for literally every single Grandmaster Nightfall this entire season, because you can just equip anti-barrier scout, and that'll make the scout rifle itself intrinsically have anti-barrier shots on every single bullet that it fires. Plus, you can stun overload champions once you get the creeping attrition buff, because it's going to apply slow to targets. And then, obviously, if you can apply slow to targets, you can also eventually freeze them, which is going to stun unstoppable champions. So, Wicked Implement, solo itself, can stun all 3 champions. Oh, wait a minute. No. Never mind. No, it's not. No, because it, yeah, it doesn't have the barrier icon right now. So never mind. No, I guess. Bungie must have this weapon coded to be like an overload specific weapon because it knows it can get slow, which means it's not able to inherit the properties of, or it's bugged. That or it's bugged. I don't know. All right, I think next we're going to go to Verglass Curve, which I think is going to be a little bit overkill when it comes to its synergies with this build. You might think that's absolute perfection because, hey, anything that makes stasis crystals is going to make this build absolutely fantastic. However, when it comes to crystal production, your grenade plus the intrinsic benefits of your helmet bestowing the ability to create crystals with your shurikens, adding on being able to create crystals with this, it just seems a little bit overkill. That's not to say that it's useless or anything like that. It's just not really... It's still going to be good. I feel that there's better options. I feel like going with the legendary with headstone to open up your exotic slot is going to be a little bit better. Wolde, thanks for the 13 months. How's the new Hunter exotic feel? I'm using it right now. It feels really, really, really good. And it's actually bugged at the current moment. It's not even as good as it normally would be. Yet it still feels incredible. So we get the grenade down. Yeah, that's kind of funny. Shuriken. You know what I'm just now realizing that I think makes this thing even better? Is I think if enemies are super tightly packed, you're guaranteed to basically just blow them all up when you throw a shuriken at a stasis crystal. Because if you throw a shuriken at the stasis crystal, the stasis crystal is going to blow up, doing the shatter damage. And then it's obviously going to send out additional shurikens to make additional crystals. But I think what's going to happen in certain occasions is... I'm going to try to explain this. It's going to be a little wonky to explain. But I think what's going to happen in certain situations is... if you throw a shuriken at here, it's going to do the shatter damage, and it's going to freeze nearby targets, and it's going to send out the additional shurikens to create additional crystals. But the thing is, if that shatter freezes other targets, and then the damage, the follow-up damage from the shatter also causes those frozen targets to also shatter, then the shattering of those frozen targets is then going to shatter the additional stasis crystals that were made by the withering blades that spawned off of the initial crystal shatter. I don't know if any of that made any sense at all. But the TLDR of that is basically... if you put a crystal inside of a tightly knit pack of enemies and then blow up the crystal with a shuriken, there's going to be just like a bunch of rebounding damage that's going to nuke anything nearby. It's like a domino effect chain reaction shatter, basically, is what's going on. Is this exotic better with pure stasis build, or could it be good with prismatic? I think you really, really want it with a pure stasis build, because a lot of fragments that this is contingent on and reliant on is things like fissures to increase the damage and the size of the burst. Things like chains so that you get significantly increased grenade regeneration so you can spam dust fields with a crystal inside it with Touch of Winter. Things like refraction, so that you're defeating a bunch of slowed and frozen enemies to spam class ability energy regain so you can get a bunch of withering blades back. Things like Grim Harvest, where you get stasis shards to give you melee energy anytime you defeat slowed and frozen targets. Like there's a lot of things that are very specific to the stasis kit that the prismatic kit does not have replicas of, that are pretty crucial for the synergy of this build. Him up. Kill the crystal. Give me my grenade energy regeneration. How's the story, by the way? Like right here. No, let's spread them up a little bit. Oh yeah, baby. Dust field, shuriken, dodge, shuriken, extra crystals, grenade energy regeneration, dusk field, crystal, shuriken, more crystals, dodge, shuriken, dusk field, dodge, boom, more crystals. I should have thrown that one at the crystal, but that's okay. Killing the crystals for grenade. I mean, like, you're gonna look at this and tell me this is not... Yeah, baby! Stasis ability spam build. This is the short. Someone clip it. Someone clip that for me. Portal into the nest. Yeah, this shit fucks. Yeah, it does. Oh my god, the unnerfed Young Ahamkara's spine. I do have to do that. Oops, sorry guys. Boom, boom. It's gonna be so fun with Dragon's Breath. Oh, is that gonna work again? Where ignitions count towards... Are ignitions gonna count towards... like it used to? Yes, I tried it. Oh my god. We could be back.
Excellent work. We're making strong headway purging the remainder of the Revenant Scorn.
We could be back. Okay. For our next weapon pick, if you want to go absolutely ballistic with melee energy, is going to be Monte Carlo. This is what you're going to rock and roll with. Speaking of which, this is the time where we're going to come over here and we're going to change up some of our mods a little bit. So, like, we're going to have to modify some things because we want a kinetic siphon specifically, since Monte Carlo, of course, is not a stasis weapon. And then you can go ahead and pair whatever else you want in here. Could do, like, double kinetic siphon to increase the potency of the orbs with one dynamo. But this is what you run when you just don't want to even think about how many shurikens you're firing off. Because, oh no, I'm out of shurikens. So I'll just go ahead and spray with the Monte Carlo, get shuriken energy back. There's my dodge. Crystal. And boom, all my abilities are full. Throw more of that. Throw more of that. This is when you kind of want to forsake the ability loops. This is kind of, I think this is overall a bit worse than the Wicked Implement and Headstone variants. However, this is what you, like, this is the option that you go when you want to turn your brain off. You don't want to think about rotations in any capacity. And you just want to point your gun at the enemies, fire it, not even have to look at the bottom left at your ability bar. Just like, do I have ability energy left? What if, do I need to use my dodge right now? Do I need to use my grenade? Nope, I'm just gonna spray at everything with Monte Carlo and spam the melee button, and there's gonna be melees there, no matter what. Wait, is there a bounty for gifting 2 subs? Not that I'm aware of. Or at least not a new one. You might be seeing the old one. But there is the one for the, Does anyone have a checkpoint for Warlord's Ruin second encounter? Can you even have that CP? Oh, I don't know. Oh, that's a beauty. Little tether shuriken combo. Yeah, if someone wouldn't mind grabbing one for me, that'd be sweet. What class you main this season? I mean, I pretty much always main Hunter. Ah. Prepare for the boss wave.
Hold on a little longer.
Throw that bad boy right there. Oh yeah. Alright, like I said, this is what we're gonna do when we just wanna turn our brain off, spam shurikens. Look at that melee meter. Mix a super in there. Another one of those. Dodge. Shoot at that. Fire at one of those. Melee. Kill a couple trash mobs to get some melee energy back. Blow up all those guys. Dodge. Melee. Wait a minute.
Not half bad, Guardians. If I didn't know any better, I'd think you like this kind of carnage.
Alrighty. Now, the final weapon option is going to be our only special weapon option up here, and that's going to be the Agger's Scepter. That, of course, means we're going to be putting on a primary ammo weapon down here. and we can go ahead and go back to our harmonic siphon. This one, you could probably go ahead and throw in a siphon to match your primary ammo element. Or you could go ahead and stick with the double dynamo. Now, full disclosure, here, Agroceptor obviously is going to have synergies with our current aspects and fragments, where stasis, obviously going to have synergy where final blows with this weapon are going to generate a slowing burst. That's going to have synergy with our refraction. That's going to have synergy with our grim harvest. And it's probably going to be pretty good. However, full disclosure, this is the only weapon that I have not yet tested. So we're about to learn together whether this weapon is actually going to be good or not for this build. So, pick up all these special bricks. We also want to get our supers so we can do, like, the charged up variant of this weapon. Throw a little battery up there. Put the dust field over there. Shuriken. What's up, Wolf? Welcome back. So let's get our full super meter, dust field, and then we'll go ahead and turn on the freezy laser. Fire shuriken out. Yeah, look at our class ability. Our class ability plus our shurikens. We're gonna throw that there. Throw one at there. Throw one. Oops. Blow that up. Oh. Throw another at you. Oh my god. Yeah, he's having a tough time. Zap you. A subjugator. Ugh. It's probably fine. Ah! That is kind of cheating. I'm just saying. That is not fair. That is not my fault. Shuriken. A little dodge. Dust field. There's our extras. Salvation's grip could be an option here. However, I feel like Salvation is going to fall into the same category as Verglass Curve, where it's like, yes, it's nice that you can generate a ton of stasis crystals, but we can already generate a ton of stasis crystals. So if it's like, if the argument is like, hey, this is so good because of, you know, this weapon is such a good option because of how many stasis crystals it can generate, I put a little bit more stock in the weapons that can do things beyond generating stasis crystals. Things that have, like, slowing and freezing bursts, like Agroceptor. Things that generate stasis shards every single time you blow up a crystal, like, things that generate a stasis shard on every single crystal that you're blowing up, like Wicked Implement, because as we just showed with the grenade throw and the shurikens, we're already generating a ridiculous amount of stasis shards. Or sorry, stasis crystals. I feel like investing in a weapon whose sole purpose is to generate stasis crystals, I'm not saying it's useless, it feels like it's trying to fill a gap that's already filled. Which is why I would rather invest my weapon selection, my weapon points into something like this that gives me an added benefit. What about the new exotic grenade launcher? So the new exotic grenade launcher, despite being a stasis damage type and looking very stasis-y, does not actually have any stasis synergies in any capacity, right? If you look at all its perks, it generates ammo and it fires a spike, right? That doesn't actually do anything that legitimately synergizes with the stasis subclass, right? It doesn't create shards, it doesn't create crystals, it doesn't slow enemies, it doesn't freeze enemies. So the new grenade launcher is not really a stasis functionality weapon, it's much more of a stasis themed weapon, if that makes sense. As such, in terms of synergizing with this build, it's not really bringing anything to the table. That's not to say that it's not good and that you can't use it with this build, but it's not adding anything to the loops that we're trying to achieve when we're using this build. I think that's, I think we can call it there.
Get those Elixni out of there.
I'm gonna pass it to you guys if you want to keep going. But, like, I feel very comfortable with all the testing that we did. Fang Hellfire, thanks for the brand new Prime sub. But anyway, so these are my initial findings for some very, very strong builds with the new Mask of Fealty. I'll probably make a dedicated build video for this exotic once the bug regarding the fact that the shurikens aren't spreading on frozen targets being hit with Withering Blades. Once that gets fixed, I'll probably make a dedicated build video for this. Also gives me time to do some more research to find like what I consider to be the very definitive best mod setup and best weapon setup for this. This is obviously day 1 of the expansion, or by the time you are watching this might be day 2. So these are just my initial findings. I wanted to put something out for you guys. One, because I haven't been making tons of content recently, since there hasn't been new content being added to the game. Now that we have new content, I'll of course be making more builds, dungeon guides, solo flawless guides, more Willow builds, things of that nature, since we have stuff to do at the current moment. But I really wanted to get something out with the new exotics, because I know a lot of people were asking me for stasis builds and builds with the brand new exotic armor pieces. So I hope you all enjoyed this one. Please make sure you like and subscribe if you want to see future build videos, a dedicated build video for this, or a video in this same format, but for the new Titan or Warlock exotic armor pieces. Also plan to do videos on some other exotics that got updated. But I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a great day. Yes! First one in the books. Anything with headstone? Headstone is nice, but it's not a requirement or a necessity. How's it going? What did I miss? It's going great. We just put together a build with a ton of different weapon options for the brand new exotic helmet. I don't know if I'm going to do Warlock and Titan ones today. It depends how my energy is at. I have like 4 builds specifically on my radar that I really want to do. That was one of them. Oh, I have to end my recording. If my stream crashes, guys, I'll be back in just a brief moment. Sometimes when I end my recording, it crashes my stream. So we'll see if that happens this time. So hopefully it doesn't crash, but hit an end right now. I think we're good. Whew! Dripping sweat every time I do that. Fang Hellfire, thanks for the brand new Prime sub. Guys, do me a favor if you're currently watching the Twitch stream or if you're watching the YouTube stream. If you have a Prime sub available, if you wouldn't mind using it in my Twitch stream, I'd appreciate it very much. Did anyone end up grabbing that Warlord's Ruin second encounter checkpoint by any chance? Because I really, really, really want to test out Young Ahamkara's Spine with Dragon's Breath. And see how that feels on that boss. Pull my Dragon's Breath over. Young Ahamkara's Spine. My Sweet Prince. Go back to this helmet, I think. Oh, I have missed you. I saw you on the Warframe iOS ad. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, we're doing, like I said, the folks at Digital Extremes are awesome. They've been taking good care of me. We've been doing a lot of collaborations and whatnot. It's been great. Yeah. I just had an offer to do a sponsorship for a gambling site. Do it? Nah. Not really the type of thing I want to promote. I don't care how much money they offered me. I don't think I would ever really do a gambling sponsorship. Stuff like that can really fuck up lives. Like, people can get really out of control of that. I don't really want to encourage. I don't really want to, like, encourage people to do things that, you know, Bruh, you promote gambling on stream all the time? What? The raffles? You're being sarcastic, right? Yes? Okay. Whew. I was gonna say, Raised, you and I have been chilling together for a while. And I've come to like you very much. Please don't die. I was like, please don't tell me this is the hill we're going on. Okay, whew. Made me sweating for a little bit. I was like, no, Raised, no. Not like this. I assume we're getting more story content? In 41 days we are. All of the Act 1 story content is available right now, though. It says Act 1 prologue, not just Act 1. Oh, okay. I mean, you can not believe me if you just go. I mean, you don't have to believe me. But I'm telling you. I'm telling you. if I know the facts.
Hi there.
I don't fault you for hoping though. But yeah, it's you're gonna be disappointed.
All done.
What cipher is
Pretty sure I got that a while ago, Sauger. Yeah, maybe the rest of the story is released after the dungeon. Ugh. Yeah, man. Dude, maybe when we beat the dungeon, there's gonna be brand new exotic armor pieces for each of the classes as well. Oh, yeah, that's the stuff. Oh, man. Anyone have any other cope that I can huff? Anyone got some more copium or hopium? Yo, guys, honestly, listen, think about it, right? Think about it. Look. Think about it. Look at the art for the new dungeon. This is a portal, right? This is a portal. Where could the portal go? I think if we go through the portal, it's gonna take us to Destiny 3. I think if we go through the portal, we beat the dungeon, and then Destiny 3 releases. It makes sense. If you really think about it, it makes sense, right? Because look. If you take Destiny 2, right? What does Vesper have in it? What's the second letter? Look at right here. Destiny? 2. Okay, 2. So what's the second letter? E. Okay. If you turn an E upside down, what is it?
85530 CTX to the Autumn Gate.
It's a 3.
To cover CNT7's route.
Which means that after we beat Vesper's host,
Rhythmic physical expressions won't win a fight, but they feel good.
we get Destiny 3. It's right in front of us. I don't know how we didn't see it before. No, wait. Hold up. But wait, what if they're tricking us and it's not Vesper's host, but it's Vesper's host? Lowercase e. If you flip a lowercase e, what does it turn into? A 6? Destiny 6? Holy. I can't believe it. I can't believe we're getting Destiny 6 on Friday after we beat Vesper's host. Oh my god. This is gonna be so amazing. Guys. do you know what the 2 in Destiny 2 stands for? It's Destiny 2 hours of seasonal content. I'm kidding. Not really, but sort of. Knock them down on your mark. Sinjin. Go Ashes. I like your hoodie. Thanks. You can get your own at GSUPS by using code Mactics, 10% off. Oh, Buddha, that feels like cheating. I have that checkpoint for you. What's your in-game name, if you don't mind?
Looks like there was a rat living in there.
Join. Hockey is hype train off cooldown. Yeah, it is. It's been off cooldown for an hour? Holy shit. Holy shit, the Bengals have the 5th most points entering week 6 in the entire NFL. And they're 1-4. Hootie! Thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. Alright, we're gonna cook. You and me, we're gonna cook. Oh, shit. Trip mine. Funny number. Oh, 420 subs? Is it Yas time? It is Yas time. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, shit. What are you testing, Mac? Young Amkara's spine. Holy. That was almost really bad. Oh, did he not get any orbs? Oh no, he dunked one, okay. What's he doing with that one? They despawn. Alright, here to start. Here. Whoever told me ignitions were counting lied to me. Because they are very much not counting. The ability ignitions are counting, but the Dragon's Breath ignitions are not counting. Which is a damn shame. Because if the Dragon's Breath ignitions counted too, that shit would be so fucking crazy. But they're not counting. What are you doing? Probably better with Galanor if it doesn't count. I mean, that'd be a completely different build. Yeah, that sucks that the Dragon's Breath ignitions don't count. I mean, it's still back though as like an isolated build. Because like that existed before Dragon's Breath was in the game. It's just not. It's not going to be enhanced by Dragon's Breath. I mean, well, you can like double dip into like the Ashes angle. So it's like that aspect of it is nice, but yeah, unfortunately, I just saw your Warframe ad on Insta. Yep. I mean, we could move on to Warlock. Start theory crafting Warlock build. I mean, is there really that much to theory craft though, if we're being completely honest? Fashion-wise, this chest piece looks really, really cool. Which makes me happy. Ooh. Wait, that's kind of crispy. I actually like that a lot. Are these, Oh, you know what? I don't know if I ever actually, because I redeemed all of them, but I don't know if I actually ever... No, I didn't. I have to actually, like, turn in all these and unlock them. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about these. I don't mind it. I don't like the boots, though. The boots are kind of ugly. I think this shit's funny. It's like Space Owl. Could go like, I mean, Sauron helmet, you can't go wrong. Okay, what do we have? Bleak Watcher turrets are enhanced and grant icicle Your Bleak Watch turrets are enhanced with extended range and are surrounded by stasis crystals and a storm. While standing in the storm, you're granted icicles over time. Icicles activate when you fire your weapons, applying slow to targets that they hit. I mean, it just feels kind of boring, but you just go like Devour, Bleak Watcher, like the usual. Like, feels kind of uninspired, but like I don't really know what else. Like, is there an objectively better version of this if you go full stasis? Obviously, you have to take Bleak Watcher. Yeah, I just don't really know, like, what you would... I'm gonna dismantle all these so I get, the pattern progress on them. Cool. Yeah, I don't know. This one I'd have to think about a little bit, because, like, I feel like it's boring to just say, like... Hey, just use the build you would use for Getaway Artist, but instead of Getaway Artist, use Rhyme Coat. I think it'd be good for Onslaught, but... Yeah. Dan, thank you so much for the tier 3 for 46 months on a 46-month streak. Definitely has to be one of the longest sub streaks in Mactics stream history. If we get 2 more subs, we are in hype train action. Didn't Stasis Titan get changed like a shit ton? No, I'm basically wearing the sweatshirt every day, so my wife doesn't have an opportunity to take it. Let me see. When did they talk about Stasis Titans? An update worth playing? Yeah, it's cool. What's up, MDL? Void Overshield, DE increase, and max HP increase. Slamming a Diamond Lance will grant you and nearby allies 2 stacks of Frost Armor. Icefall mantle changes. Then different TWAB. Revving up for revenant. Icefall. Icefall, okay. Each time. So you heal when you get frost armor. It no longer prevents sprinting or jump abilities. Okay. But you can only use the Icefall Mantle if you have a Stasis Super on. The Titan Stasis Super fucking sucks, though. So what, do you go like... I guess you could use it with like Aggers or something. I don't like the Shiver Strike. Like I don't think Shiver Strike is good. Despite its changes. Ah. I'm gonna grab a snack super fast, fellas. Don't start a B sub hype train on me. Please. I'll be back in a second. Boys, thoughts on off-brand cereal? Oh! Iron Espio, thanks for the $5 tip. I've heard of whispers that the Cadmus Lance Cap is now really good. Eh. Why do you have to be behind a rally barricade? That frustrates me. Honeyos or nothing? Oh, no, no, no. So, I went to the store. I was feeling some Fruit Loops for some reason. I haven't had Fruit Loops in a while. I wanted to get some Fruit Loops. And, next to Fruit Loops was Fruit Rings. Or fruity rings or something like that. Fruit Rings, Fruity Rings. I got the Fruity Rings. Can't really tell a difference. Now, granted, I haven't had Fruit Loops in a very, very long time, but... I don't know. Just throwing it out there. I'm thinking maybe I get off right now, because if I get off right now, then I can start uploading... I can start uploading the Hunter video. Thoughts?
Welcome back. Transferred. Thank you. Thank you.
And then we can get that edited and get it out. Maybe tomorrow? I don't know. You guys agree? Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna wind her down here then. And then we'll pick it back up tomorrow and craft up some Warlock and Titan builds. Sound good? Perfect.